Welcome back to the next exciting edition of Grammar Rules with Miss Wills. Today we'll be looking at run-ons. You can reference your homework for this week, recognizing run-ons and correcting run-ons. Let's start with recognizing. So how in the world are you supposed to tell what's a run-on and what's not a run-on? Well, there are two easy methods. First, when only a comma separates two independent clauses, it's a run-on. This is what's called comma splicing. We've talked about this in class before. For example, most people like The Walking Dead, comma, I watch it every Sunday. Two independent clauses, only separated by a comma. The other way is to look at the punctuation marks. When there are no punctuation marks separating two independent clauses, chances are it's a run-on. Maggie and Glyd may never find each other. They have been separated too long. Two independent clauses. No punctuation marks. These are both good examples of run-ons. So let's check out your homework. Let's look at number 1 on exercise 1. The governor was a fine speaker. She gave a rousing keynote speech. Is it a run-on? Yep, you got it. It is. Two independent clauses. First, you have the governor was a fine speaker. The governor would be your subject. It's your noun. It's what your first independent clause is about. Well, what was the governor? Well, they were a fine speaker. Was a fine speaker is your predicate. There's your first independent clause. Your second independent clause. She gave a rousing keynote speech. Who did this? She did. What did she do? Gave a rousing keynote speech. See? Two independent clauses. It does count as a run-on. Now let's look at number 2 on your homework, exercise 1. Students objected to the plan, and the teachers didn't like it either. Is it a run-on? Nope, it's not. If you look, it's separated, yes, by a comma, but it also has that wonderful little coordinating conjunction. So, it would not be considered a run-on. It would be considered a regular sentence. Actually, it would be considered a compound sentence. Let's move on. If you flip your homework over, correcting run-ons should be on the back. So let's see how we can fix these run-ons, these sad, sad run-ons. Well, there are 4 different methods. Number 1, add an end mark to the first independent clause. That seems pretty easy. Number 2, add a comma and coordinating conjunction. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. Number 3, add a semicolon between the 2 clauses. And number 4, change one of the independent clauses to a dependent clause and make it complex. So let's look at our homework. Number 5 on the homework, exercise 1. The first playing cards came from China. They were used to tell fortunes. Well, first, is it a run-on? Yep, you're right. So now we just have to figure out where we need to separate the 2 independent clauses. The first playing cards came from China. What is it talking about? Well, it's talking about cards. There's your subject. Does it have a predicate? It does. Came from China. So it looks like we need to put our little carrot. No, not the little orange thing that you eat to get better eyesight. The little carrot. That's a triangle looking thing. Between China and they, because they begins your second independent clause. Let's look at number 8. Number 8. Regular mail takes several days, but express mail arrives the next day. You have to pay a lot for it, though. Let's look at it. Is it a run-on? Oh, nope. They go together like peas and carrots. The comma and the coordinating conjunction are there. So it is actually correct. You would mark this with C. This is how it should look on your worksheet. If you can think of other run-ons that you can fix, or if you want to try and fix the run-ons from the recognizing run-ons, you can in the comments below. you have any questions, come see Miss Wills. Until then, I'll catch you next time on Grammar Rules.